Hey! So this is our review on Inglorious Bastards, and we give this movie an 8 out of 10. We think it was really good because of the way it portrayed the good versus evil archetype, and like feeding into our American nationalism in the way that we wish the World War II would have ended, with Americans killing Nazis or Hitler in general in a very pomp and circumstance way, and making us the heroes of such a big event in history. So we thought that was why this movie was really good in general, but there's a few film terms that we also think made the movie really good.
Yeah, and we also with that we've talked about in class, does a movie have to meet an aspect of all of those terms to be good? And when we were talking about this one, I think it led us to be no, it doesn't. It can do some really well and lack other ones and still be good. Another thing we talked about, going off of how this one has the archetype of good versus evil, and it makes an American audience be really invested and rooting for the bastards to beat Hitler and end the war. We were wondering how this was received in other areas of the world, especially if you think about Germany. I don't think a German audience would really love the way that they were portrayed. We also talked about Shoshana's character. We were trying to think of if any character arced, and if anyone if you're gonna argue that anyone did, we thought you could with her, because she starts the movie being super weak. Not weak, but she barely escapes and can survive past the Nazis, and then she ends up helping cause their demise.
Yeah. So her character development really added to the movie, and the fact that it was paralleled with the efforts of the bastards to defeat the Nazis and how they came together in the end, not even knowing each other to defeat them, was really awesome. It was just really awesome. And
we talked about one of the reasons that it's so entertaining and satisfying is that with the whole good and evil, it creates this alternate reality where if World War II had actually ended this way, everything obviously would have been different. And the constant conflict keeps you engaged.
Oh, yeah.
And we also talked about just as a whole, the character that plays kind of the primary Nazi, I don't remember his name, the one that speaks all the different languages, Colonel Landa or something. How we just thought he did very, very convincing acting, and how every time he was having a conversation with one of the characters, especially when he was talking to the double agent German actress, and that he is going to either kill her or imprison her or something, when he gets his hysterical laughter, at least for me, it made me uneasy as an audience.
It really played into your emotions. You felt he was speaking to you, speaking through your soul, speaking through the screen at you, and that made his character just so believable to be very realistic of what a real Nazi would have been in those days, and really put the audience in the place of a Shoshana or the German actress. His character just as well as Brad Pitt's were just so well done as an accurate representation of what you would imagine an American who hates Nazis to be and a Nazi who hates Jews to be like. Yeah. And we also talked a lot about how the Nazis are obviously the antagonists and the bastards are obviously the protagonists in this movie, but if you took the situation away and looked at the bastards and how they were killing people, which morally is wrong, in this situation they were the protagonists, even though they were killing people. So we rooted for them, not because they weren't bad people, but because they were going for a mission that we related to and we supported.
And that benefited the greater good.
Yeah. So overall, we think this movie was really great for all of these reasons.
Yeah.
So.